Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have swatches for you from the Highlights collection from Clores to Carol. So we have 6 bright new neons as well as one topper that releases May 24th. So in the description box below I will link the Clores to Carol site. I will link their Instagram page and I will link my Instagram page where you can see more swatches of everything from this collection. So we have 7 polishes in total today, and let's go ahead and get started. So first we have Intrepid, and this is described as a neon watermelon pink with an aurora shimmer and a hollow dust. So here's our first coat of Intrepid. So this is pretty sheer here on this first coat. Formula feels good though. It's not too thick, not too thin, very smooth and easy to work with. For all of these though, if you do work in too thick of a coat, it will definitely start to run and pull down the sides of your nails. So these are best worked in thinner coats. So here's our second coat, and that's building up in 2 coats. I did stop at 2 coats thinking it was completely opaque. It definitely needed a 3rd coat for the swatch photo though. This one's going to dry down a little bit dull, but nothing in here is going to dry textured or be difficult to remove. So you will want top coat for longevity and to help that glossy finish. So there is 2 coats. Up next we have Gammarays, and this is described as a neon orange with an aurora shimmer and a red shimmer and hollow dust. So here's our first coat of Gammarays. So this one's also pretty sheer here on this first coat, but again the formula feels nice. It's not too thick or too thin to work with, but once again if you work in too thick of a coat you will have some running and pulling, and I think that's what happened. How I'm having some darker spots that weren't there as soon as I applied it. I think it's pulling down the sides of my nails a little bit, and you will see that throughout the video with all the neons. So here's our second coat, and that's building up well in 2 coats. I do have a couple dark spots still though, so I am going to go in for a 3rd coat. Just like the last one, this one is going to dry on the dull side, so you will want a glossy top coat to finish this one off as well, and it'll also help your manicure last a little bit longer, and nothing in here is going to dry textured or be difficult to remove, so you should just be able to use a non-acetone remover for this. So this is completely opaque in 3 coats for me. Depending on your application, I don't know, some of these might be better layered over a white polish. This would be a good contender along with the next 2. So there is 3 coats. Up next we have Flower Dance, and this is described as a neon yellow with aurora shimmer and a hollow dust. So here's our first coat of Flower Dance. So this is again pretty sheer. I mean, it's pretty opaque for a neon yellow, but it is pretty streaky, and I have some noticeable dark spots, so it does have to be built up. Again, this is one that might be a good contender to be put over a white. You won't have as bad of pooling if it's over a white or over a base coat, so this one might be good over a white base. So this is building up well in 2 coats. Again, not completely opaque, so I am going to go in for a 3rd coat. Again, it does have a good, easy to work with formula, but it will have some running and pulling if you work in too thick of coats. So here's our 3rd coat, and that covers for the most part in 3 coats. I do have some minor streaking on this 3rd coat. Again, you'll want top coat to finish this off because it does dry dull, but nothing in here is going to dry textured or be difficult to remove. So there is 3 coats. Up next we have You Glow Girl, and this is described as a neon green with an aurora shimmer and a hollow dust. So here's our first coat of You Glow Girl. This is another one that's going to take 3 coats to build up to pretty much opacity. A little bit sheer and streaky here on this first coat. Again, you will get running and pooling if you work in too thick of a coat because the formula is not thinner, but it's just wants to run down the sides of your nails just a little bit. So here's our second coat, and that's building up well in 2 coats, not completely opaque, so I am going to go in for a 3rd coat. Another good contender in my eyes for a white base if that's something you're interested in. So this builds up to pretty much opacity in 3 coats, just like the last 2 we've looked at. Again, it'll dry a little bit dull, so you will want a glossy top coat to finish this off, and nothing in here is going to dry textured or be difficult to remove. So there is 3 coats. Up next we have Good Vibes Only, and this is described as a neon blue with red shimmer, aurora shimmer, and a hollow dust. So here's our first coat of Good Vibes Only. So this one's pretty sheer here on this first coat as well. Formula is the same as everything we've looked at so far. A little bit wanting to run and pull, but not difficult to work with. It feels nice, not too thick or too thin. So here's our second coat, and again I stopped here at 2 coats thinking it was fully opaque. This one definitely could have benefited from a third coat though. This one is also going to dry down dull, so you will want a glossy top coat to finish this off. It's just like everything else, but nothing in here is going to dry textured or be difficult to remove. So there is 2 coats. Up next we have Stay Wild, and this is described as a neon purple with a blue shimmer and a hollow dust. Here's our first coat of Stay Wild. So again, pretty sure on this first coat, this one is definitely the one in the collection that has the least issues with streaking, and this is also the only one in the collection that I feel is a solid 2-coater, where 2 coats was not streaky at all, completely opaque. You could totally get away with 2 coats. So there is that second coat, and it does cover completely, but just like everything else in this collection, it is going to dry down dull, so you will want top coat for that reason. But just like everything else in this collection, it's not going to dry textured or be difficult to remove, and I had no staining with anything in this collection either, so there's 2 coats. And lastly for today we have Silver Spoon, and this is described as a glitter topper with a clear base with black shreds, silver micro shreds, and hollow flakes. So here's 1 coat of Silver Spoon over Intrepid. So this is a chunky glitter. You will have to manipulate it just a little bit to get the glitter to go where you want it to go, but I didn't have to do any kind of fishing or swirling to get this amount of glitter out. This is just what came out. So this one is going to dry pretty textured. You will want a top coat over this to smooth it out, and it will be pretty difficult to remove. So there is 1 coat. So my favorite of the collection is actually Silver Spoon, the topper, and it surprised me because I love neons, but I think the black looks really, really good over all the neons. So I think that's what really sold me on the topper itself, but I do think it is really, really beautiful. I wore this as 1 coat with nothing under it just because I needed to throw something on to leave the house, and I actually really, really liked that look. So Silver Spoon is my favorite of the collection. And guys, that is it. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of this collection. Let me know if you plan on picking any of them up, and let me know what your favorite was. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe if you'd like to see more from me, and I will talk to you again next time.